going on, everyone? My name's Patters, and welcome to the fourth video in our top 100 greatest Pokemon of all time. We have another 10 amazing Pokemon for you here today, and if you are following along with us, if you're making your own top 100, which I really don't see many people doing, but if you are, you can leave that in the comment section below. I'll have a look at it, a check over, and you can share it with everyone else down there. Also, if you see a Pokemon, if you see your favorite Pokemon on this list, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, because I like getting some discussion going on. So, post some comments, and if you're enjoying this, then like the video. That would be amazing. But without further ado, let's get on with the list. So starting off today's list, we have a Golbat, and you see that thing's Generation 1 sprite, like, Jesus, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that. Like, some of the Generation 1 sprites are amazing, they look really, really nice, and some of them are Golbat. Some of them are Golbat, but Golbat is one of those flying type Pokemon that I can just go to and expect to be good. It's one of them I can rely on. It's in most games. So if you need a flying type, and generally in most games you do, like in Sun and Moon, they kind of scale back on the necessity of HMs by removing them completely, so that was good. But in the old games, you need something that's gonna fly you around, and Golbat is one of those Pokemon that you can just go to and expect to be good, and you can rely on pretty nicely. It's also very good in competitive. You slap an Eviolite on that thing, and the Eviolite is the main reason that it's above Crobat, because it makes it incredibly bulky. It can defog away rocks, it can sit there in Toxic Stall with Roost and Toxic, and it can Brave Bird for pretty good damage, so Golbat is number 70. Up next, we have one of those lucky few Pokemon that gained the Fairy typing in Generation 6. We got Azumarill here, and that Fairy typing helped out so much. It became like a premier Dragon Killer in 6th Gen. It's like it catapulted up the rankings and became a very, very common Pokemon in X and Y competitive, which was very well deserved. Like, Azumarill is scary. You look at that thing's face, it's like a tiny water bunny. Like, how could that thing be scary? But it has huge power. It has that Fairy typing, it has a very nice water typing to go along with it. It has Aqua Jet, it gets Waterfall, it gets things like Super Power, obviously Play Rough. Like, it's got a very nice move pool, and then it gets Belly Drum. That's a +6 with Aqua Jet priority and huge power. Azumarill is an absolute monster. If you don't want to risk the Belly Drum, you can just Choice Band it. And it's dealing out huge amounts of damage anyway. Like, usually I don't use it in games unless it has that huge power, but recently I've been kind of forced to use it in Nuzlocke when I pick it up, and I'm beginning to appreciate Azumarill a little bit more. Crabrawler, why are you not a water type? Oh, well, Patters is actually a scientific explanation as to why he's not a water type. You see, the type of crab that he is doesn't live in the water, and you know, just if it goes in the water, it'll die, it'll drown. It's actually a very bad swimmer. No, alright, that's not entirely true, but apparently there is some kind of explanation as to why Crabrawler is not a water type. But Crabrawler to me is one of those early game 7th Gen Pokemon that I really, really liked. Like, I used it, I called it Glass Joe because it reminds me so much of that character from Punch-Out. But it was a nice little fighting type, and you get it right next to the place you get Brick Break. So early game, Brick Break is absolutely destroying all those young gooses you come across, all those Gumshoes. Like, it's nothing to Crabrawler. Unfortunately, you can't evolve it into late game, but its evolution isn't all that great to me. I don't like his evolution all that much. But I do like Crabrawler, and that's why Crabrawler is on the list. Next up, we have Zoroark, and my main draw to Zoroark is its unique ability that lets it disguise as another Pokemon. If you send out first in battle, I think it disguises as the last Pokemon in your party. It's something like that, but the main fun of it is using it in free-for-alls, and you send it in, and people usually forget about it from the team screen, but you send it in, and people get confused, like, oh, well, why can't I use Psychic on this Caterpie? What's going on here? Why can't? Oh, how did that Magneton just one-shot my Alakazam with a Dark Pulse? What's going on there? I mean, the novelty wears off pretty quickly once you realize that Zoroark is gonna get absolutely demolished as soon as people figure out what's going on. But it is fun to use for that first few turns, it gets people confused, it gets people thinking, and honestly, Zoroark isn't amazing in terms of stats, but it is incredibly fun to use. We got another 5th Gen Pokemon following on from Zoroark, and this is one of my favorites. I love using this thing. It's Scrafty. It's fighting Zark type, so a pretty good typing right there. It's incredibly bulky. My favorite thing is that you can run it so many different ways in terms of setting up, because setting up is one of my favorite things to do in competitive. I love to set up. Even in just normal games, I just love setting up. So you got Dragon Dance with this thing, you got Bulk Up. There's two very different ways to run it. You can go with the slow, bulky, you know, Drain Punch to get all my health back. You can go with the really quick Dragon Dance. You can even slap High Jump Kick, I'm pretty sure, on this thing. Along with Knockoff that got this buff in 6th generation, making Scrafty even more powerful. Now, unfortunately, it does have that 4 times weakness to Fairy, but it's still a very high tier threat. I mean, it's not high tier, but in my opinion, it's a high tier threat that you need to watch out for. It is well past time we had another Ultra Beast on this list, and this one is pretty much the mascot for Ultra Beast. It's Nihilego, or Lego Jellyfish, as I called it when I couldn't pronounce its name when I was playing through the game. I don't know why, it just came to me. It's like Lego Jellyfish, there you go. This thing is a rock poison type, which, I get the poison. Alright, it's a jellyfish, I get the poison. But these Ultra Beasts have very strange typings. They're very strange in general, which I think is what Game Freak was going for with the Ultra Beasts, but Nihilego, 7th gen competitive is still developing, but Nihilego is one of those go-to Stealth Rock setters, because you got Stealth Rocks on this thing, you got Toxic Spikes on this thing as well. I'm not entirely sure if it gets spikes or not, but if it does, like, there's all these different types of entry hazards, and that's also quick and specially defensive as heck. So it does have that 4 times weakness to ground, but it's fine, just slap an air balloon on that thing, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. It has a really good special attack too, so if you manage to knock something out, you've got that high speed, you get that beast boost with the special attack. Not only are you setting up your hazards, you're sweeping as well. You can sweep and set up hazards with the same Pokemon. Like, you don't even need to switch. Next up, we have this monster of a legendary. We've got Deoxys. Now, Deoxys isn't something I ever really used when I was a kid because you needed some kind of special event to actually get the Pokemon. So unfortunately, I was either action replay or nothing for me. But Deoxys has always been this really, really, really cool Pokemon because it comes from space, first of all, and then it has these 4 different forms that allow it to be absolutely amazing in a few different things. It is frail as heck unless you run the defensive form, but that's fine. That's fine, that's fine. Have you seen its attack stats? And its speed? Like, it doesn't even need defenses. I mean, you could run Cosmic Power on your normal form Deoxys if you really wanted some bulk, but I don't really see the point in that. It's also a really, really well-designed Pokemon. All of its forms, I think, look really cool. It's a virus from space. It's also legendary. It fights Rayquaza up in the sky. Mega Rayquaza in Oras. I love that event. That whole mission to get up into space with a Mega Rayquaza to fight Deoxys when it like unveils itself. That was amazing to me. That was absolutely incredible. Gengar is a Pokemon that's been seeing some nerfs recently, which is very unfortunate, in my opinion. It doesn't deserve the nerfs. It doesn't deserve the nerfs. I mean, Mega Gengar, maybe. Mega Gengar is incredibly strong. But getting rid of Levitate on Gengar is a huge, huge deal. It makes it weak to ground type moves. They gave it Cursed Body, which I guess it would have a cursed body, but at the same time, Gengar does fly in the anime, so really didn't need to get rid of Levitate. I don't know why Game Freak just points out this 1st gen Pokemon and was like, we need to nerf that right now. You didn't even nerf the Mega Evolution, but Gengar will remain to be a Pokemon that I love to use. Even if it does have increased weaknesses now, it still has very good stats. A pretty decent typing that actually confused me when I was a kid because I was using Psychic type moves on Gengar and it was being super effective. Then I tried to use it on a Duskull and it wouldn't be, and I was like, what's going on? What's the deal? What's the problem here? But even though you did confuse me, Gengar, you prankster, you deserve to be on the list. The first and only Generation 4 Pokemon we're going to be looking at today is Weavile. And Weavile was lumped in with all these Pokemon that got the evolution treatment in Generation 4. They just looked at like 10 Pokemon and were like, yeah, just evolve them all. Just make them better. And Weavile came out of that as one of the best to get an evolution. It's incredibly powerful. It's very quick. It has those nice offensive typings, so it gets that Stab, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Knockoff. So very lucky there. It does have that 4 times weakness to Mach Punch, so it's not appreciating fighting with any Conkeldurrs or anything, but it does take on those dragons like Flygon, Garchomp, Salamence very, very well, and it cemented itself as one of the top tier threats in the metagame. And finishing off today's list, we have Weezing. Weezing, one of my favorite poison types. Very ugly, but like, I don't know how to explain this in a lovable way. I don't know, it is very ugly. I can't look at it and be like, oh, it's disgusting, like I could look at other Pokemon and be like, yeah, that's gross. It's just Weezing's like, oh, you know, it's Weezing, you know, that's just how he looks. He's a sympathetic character from the anime, you know, Weezing traveling around with James, you know, that touching parting when they had to leave the Weezing in the Arbok, you know, really pulls on the heartstrings. But Weezing is a very good Pokemon in its own right. It gets all those poison type moves that you know and love. It gets Will-O-Wisp, it gets Flamethrower, it pretty much gets like all these different types of fire type moves to take on steel types that will switch in and be like, ah, you can't touch me, just hit him with a Fire Blast, you're fine. Weezing is also very bulky and gets Pain Split, so it's good against, it's good at stalling, basically. But that is the end of today's list. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Hope you guys will stay tuned for the next one tomorrow. I don't want to say tomorrow. I don't know when these are getting uploaded, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you will leave your own lists in the comment section below, or let me know if one of your favorites was on here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.